Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today we're flying the Cirrus SR22 going out of Talkeetna, Alaska, up to McKinley National Park. This is going to be a pretty short flight. We're only going at 11,000 feet. It's going to be about a 30-minute flight, only about 90 miles. But after that, we're either going to head somewhere else, or we'll do just an entirely different route. So, yeah, climb aboard, let's go, actually. Yeah, let's go flying. There's the island of Moorea in French Polynesia. I recognize it. Little different from Alaska. A lot different, actually. I'm in a wild mood today. Me flying. Alright, here we... Hold on a minute. There's no snow. It's just like summertime. Alright, we're ready to fly. It looks like summer. Alright. Battery switch is on. Just a couple setups here. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Yeah, so the first couple things we did, set the CDI to GPS. 11,000 for the altitude bug and 110 for the FLC. -3 on the ground. Yet it looks like summer. I guess they haven't really had snowfall. Or much. Weather's been absolutely gorgeous up here the last few days, if cold. I mean, it's been super sunny. We'll go ahead and turn the pitot heat on. And -5 on the battery, so we really do need to get the engine started, so we don't drain the battery too much. What we'll do, boost pump forward, throttle full forward, mixture full rich, let some fuel flow, close the throttle, bump it forward, and let's get the engine started. Magnetos are gauged to both, wings clear left, clear right, and right ahead. This guy will move once we start the engine. Clear! There we go. Engine is running. We can turn the alternator switches on, and battery amperage is up. Out of the yellow. The power back a little bit here. And strobe light on. We usually do that before the engine starts. That's alright there. We'll go ahead and turn the nav lights on, since we'll get ready to taxi here in a moment. Let's grab the weather at Talkeetna real quick. We already have the altimeter. I mean, it looks crystal clear. Alright, 3604, so we'll take a northbound departure. That's good, because that's right on our route. 10 miles visibility, the sky is clear, temperature is -3, and the altimeter is set. -3 Celsius, that's 27 Fahrenheit, so that's just below freezing. Not super cold in comparison to some of the areas where we were flying the other day, where it was barely above or even a little below 0 Fahrenheit. These all look good there. Avionics on. Our course should be set. Let's just configure everything on auto. VNav, FLC. We set that nav mode on. Heading select, we'll set runway heading once we get out. That all looks pretty good to me. And let's go ahead and taxi over. Which way are we facing? And I say that. Yeah, okay. It's slightly counterintuitive, the way the plane is parked. I think it would usually be placed back this way so you could taxi out on that line. You can use these different areas to maneuver, but you've got the vehicles and other equipment in the way. Alright, hold the brakes, release the parking brake, and let's get ready. Go ahead, just make a gentle right turn here. Clear left, clear right. And here we have buses and other vehicles and equipment starting to move around. What are the chances that one of them are going to drive through my plane? Haven't had that happen in a while, but okay, cut off by the bus. Come on. But then again, I was going to say I haven't been in the sim to have that happen lately. Oh, come on. Go! I have to go around this guy or what? Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, the tug driver's just stopped in the road there. Oh, and the bus is moving too. Oh, it's mayhem. Mayhem on the taxiways of the Alaska airports and flight sim. Alright, we want to go to runway 1. We could take an intersection departure, but we're pretty close to the end. We'll just go ahead and make the turn right here. And lights in the middle of the taxiway. Ah. It's nothing too unusual. Yeah, so we'll just taxi down to the end of the runway. Nice and easy out. Talkeetna is a pretty easy airport to get around. And I really love the location of it. It's generally warmer than... I mean, this isn't really the interior. It's about as far north in what I would call South Central Alaska. I guess people that are actually from there might agree or disagree. Or partially both. But I say that because it's south of the Alaska Range. It's part of the, kind of that valley that runs down toward, you know, along with the Matanuska and Susitna rivers and stuff. It's not far from Anchorage. It's definitely much more mild than most of the interior once you get on the other side of the mountains. And the views are just spectacular. I mean, you can see the water, but you can also see the mountains. Alright, let's go ahead and do a quick run-up. First thing we're going to do is flaps to half. Boost pump stays on, that's good. Mixture is full. Rich, we didn't lean it for taxi. Let's turn the landing light on. These are all set. No de-icing or anti-icing should be required. Looks to be pretty clear along the route. Rudder is good. Elevators are good. Ailerons are good. Flaps are confirmed half both sides. Back into the cockpit here. Let's do the run-up. Power up to 1700 RPMs, roughly. Right. Mag check to the right. It's a good drop. Back to both. Now to the left. Back to both. Mags are looking good. Engine instruments are all in the green. There's no warnings, errors, cautions, anything like that. So I think we are set to want to taxi out. The power back to idle. Right, runway heading is going to be right about... No, you know what? We're not directly in line with the runway. We'll wait until we're out there. I was gonna say you can usually go 90 degrees from what you're facing, but we're not perfectly lined up this taxiway. Doesn't look like it. It's set at a right angle. It's no big deal. Alright, let's go ahead, taxi out. Throttle jumped a little bit. Clear there. Some weird positions of the lights here. Alright. We're lined up, runway heading roughly. So it's right about this. Heading bug is set. Alright, normal procedure. Rotate the plane 77 knots, airborne, climb out the low 80s. And then we'll pitch up. Or we'll pitch down lower the nose to accelerate. We'll engage the autopilot, and we're pretty much going to be right on course. Here we go, full power. Airspeed's alive, engine instruments are looking good. Good for 77 knots. Here we are. Ooh, a little bit sideways there. Not bad. Bring the flaps up. And yes, look at that, the mountains. Beautiful. We're going to get to about 1,100 feet before we engage the autopilot. We're actually climbing out a little fast. 105. We usually climb out in the 90s until we pitch down and engage the autopilot. That's fine. Kind of more gentle, and it's actually helping us with the flight time.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, hands off. Basically, let the autopilot do the work. Hold on. Nav is on. That's just setting an awfully steep turn to intercept that course. I mean, I would not normally do that. Fly that by hand, and you'd have a much shallower intercept. But whatever. Let's go ahead and turn the landing light off. So I can stay. I'll lean the mixture to the bottom of the green. Throttle's jittery again. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Let me get the flight tracker turned on for you all. Very short flight. There we go. Alright, our route today is short to start. So here's Talkeetna, and we're going north, a little bit northeast. Alaska Range back over here, Denali, right here, of course. We saw that just right on takeoff. Here is McKinley Park. It's kind of along the river. I don't think we've actually flown into here before. I think we went into Healy River once. That's the next town up. So if for any reason we can't make it into McKinley Park, we have, I believe, is this Cantwell? No, it's Denali Airport. Okay. Cantwell's down here. Or Healy River. If we can't make it into there, we have a couple other options. Here's Nenana, which is a little bit further out. And then Fairbanks, which is be almost double the distance. Fairbanks would have the fullest amount of support if we had any trouble with the aircraft or getting into any of these other airports for some reason. Should be a very easy flight that's just going to be kind of flying over these rivers and kind of this pass through the mountains on our way up. Excuse me. And yeah, look at that. I mean, there's really still no snow out here. I haven't really had any. I mean, it still almost looks like summer throughout here. I mean, you can see here there's, you know, the snow's coming down a little bit lower due to the cold, but Right. Now look at that, only about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I mean, look at the sun. I like the mountains out that direction. They're a little bit more rolling. I mean, if we're only going to 11,000 feet. This is going to be a very short. I mean, we actually could climb a little higher. In fact, let me take a look. We go 13,000 adds a minute of flight time. 15 adds 2 minutes of flight time. And my flight planner says going above 15,000 is impractical, given the short distance. We'll stick with 11. The wind's actually shifting more to a crosswind. It was a bit of a headwind on the climb out. Excuse me. And here we are actually coming up on 11,000 feet already. I mean, this plane climbs almost effortlessly until you get up to over like 22,000 feet. Alright, level off here. We're going to pull the power back. Excuse me again. I was kind of congested today. The power back, looking for 30.5. That works there. And we will lean the mixture. Looking for peak RPM at about 88% right there. Just the way the throttle's really being kind of finicky right now. But we can keep it right there. It is a little bit it's a little bit choppy up here. Some light turbulence due to the, of course, the mountain wave. We're only doing 189 across the ground, so that's actually going to end up taking a little bit longer. And I think that's just because our altitude is low. So our true airspeed isn't really that much higher than our indicated. So this plane usually does prefer to cruise higher. And I mean, we could go up, but I'm comfortable flying at this altitude. We can kind of carry a higher speed descending into McKinley Park. I'll pull the map up and just take a look around real quick. And what's in the area? So Talkeetna's here. River kind of runs up this way, and then the mountain pass. This is Cantwell. No, it's not. It's Summit. This is Cantwell. Denali, McKinley Park, Healy, I believe this is clear. Nope, Lignite. I don't know what that is. This is clear. It's Military Airfield, Nenana. And then you follow the Tanana River one of two directions. Or that way toward Fairbanks, which is where the highway actually runs, or that direction out to the town of Tanana, where it merges with the Yukon River. It's really not all that far removed from the interior. In fact, you could say the interior kind of starts around here on this side of the mountain range. We usually switch our fuel tank once we get up to cruise altitude, if I don't forget. But I mean, since our cruise altitude is low, we did not use a lot of fuel on takeoff and climb out, and we're burning a lot less at cruise, so we still don't need to switch it for a few minutes. Take a look around over here. Oh, wow. And look off the left wing and just take a look at that. That's gorgeous. And now you can start to see the snow kind of dotting the ground up here on the trees. I'm sure my music was just stuttering there a little bit. Yeah, no, this is gorgeous right here. Take a look at that. And look ahead, there's more kind of snow by dusting. Pretty view. This is one of the prettiest sights I've seen. You look back that way, there's no snow. It's all pretty much we dry out. Way down that way, you can't really see it with the glare from the sun. But of course, down out that way is Anchorage, and then the Kenai Peninsula. Other mountains up that direction there. So I believe these are actually called the Talkeetna Mountains. And then, yeah. Talkeetna Mountains, I think, are actually more out this way. And then this is still technically part of the Alaska Range. Just a little bit different segment from these out here, which of course include Denali. I mean, look how low we are. Those mountains just tower over us. And normally we're above them or just below the summits. Get a good view of this glacier right here. That's actually pretty neat. This here, I believe, is the Eldridge Glacier. Of course, you've got Denali. Then you have more Mount Foraker out over here. Over here is Mount... it's cut off on the map. It's like Mount Silver Through or something like that. I don't know. It's cut off. The text. Mount Silver Throne. Okay. Yeah, I just switched the map and it shows up a little more clearly. Let's switch it back to... And yeah, this quickly we're already almost to the halfway point. Only about 18 minutes to go. Let's go ahead and just ahead of time we'll take a look at the weather at McKinley Park. So click on the airport, we'll take a look. The elevation's 3,000 feet. 3073. So we're fairly high up. We really don't have to descend as far. So really just 8,000 feet of descent. The wind is calm. 10 miles visibility, clear sky. Temperature is minus 16. Compared to it was minus 3 on the ground at Talkeetna. So that's really an indicator of how Talkeetna is kind of moderated because it's in that valley that extends to the south. Like, I mean, if you zoom out and take a look here, this is all like protected by the moderating influence of Cook Inlet, or Anchorage, Matsu Valley, up here, Kenai Peninsula. But then as soon as you get on the backside of these mountains here, you have the harsher weather that you'll find in the interior. Anyway, minus 16 and 29.92. We will set that when we cross the halfway point. 29.84 is what we have set right now. I think we can probably land runway 35 up at McKinley Park. It's not as smooth as it has been. Alright, now the fuel indicator came on, so we do need to switch it. We can turn that off now, and that should clear pretty quickly. There we go. I said, oh yeah, we can wait a few more minutes and forget about it again. Alright, yep, we're just past the halfway point. 14 minutes to go, so we've got about another 5 minutes before we'll go ahead and begin our descent. And I mean, just take a look at down here. Look out that way back at the mountains. Let's kind of see the glaciers. Clear back out to the valley. And there's a couple roads, or at least a road, and that's the highway that runs from Anchorage to Fairbanks. And it comes right up through here. Summit Airport up ahead. Cantwell not far off. It's here. Denali and McKinley Park. Really not too much more. Orientation of the runway should be pretty much in line with this. We're pretty much going to be flying right on to final approach. What I will go ahead and do, select approach, we'll do visual 3.5, since the wind is calm. Set straight, load, okay, and we'll check the map to take a look at the pathing it's giving us. I don't understand why it has you do that curve, so we're going to set direct to straight. Activate gives us top of descent here in 10 miles, about 3 minutes. That matches up pretty close with the amount of time we have remaining. It's a pretty good estimate. And just want to check along our descent path. There are some high mountains that we need to watch out for. So we may have to do a little bit of maneuvering to get into the airport. I'm gonna check the data here. Canyons south and west of airport subject to strong downdrafts. Well, that might be. Traffic patterns to east side due to terrain clearance. Alright, so what that means is while we're looking, in the area that we're going to be is there's some high terrain just off the left side, whereas you have a lot more flat area to work with up here, kind of along the river. So we're going to want to pay attention as we start our descent for these mountains, and what we may have to do is actually come over this way and follow the river and turn like a short approach into the runway. But we're going to play it by ear. I know it was a little easier getting into Healy. But we should be okay. CVNav is on. I'm gonna set that just for now. Let's go ahead and set the altimeter. It was 2992. Have us lower a little bit. This is so gorgeous, though. It may get a little bit bumpy as well. I mean, even though there's not a lot of wind, the terrain is very jagged, enough to disrupt the airflow and cause some mechanical, or what you call mountain wave. It's not really mechanical because it's not due to like buildings and structures and stuff like that. I would say it's, yeah, mountain wave. And I guess that's kind of a type of mechanical turbulence, but I kind of differentiate between the two. And of course, I have my pilot's license, private, not commercial. I don't do this for a living, so don't consider this a professional opinion. I could very well be wrong what I'm saying. So if I am, yeah, tell me. I don't care. You know, I like to narrate what I'm doing in the plane and kind of around the area. We need to pull back on power a little bit as we started to descend. I like to narrate so you all know what's going on, and hopefully somebody's getting a little bit of education out of this. You know, I don't do these videos to fly around and screw off and stuff like that. I like to try to make it semi-realistic, like what I would do in a real airplane. And this is kind of my way of being able to fly, since I don't really get the opportunity much in the real world anymore. So hopefully, hopefully you all take something away from it, but at the same time, I'm kind of teaching myself a little bit of refresher and stuff like that. So if I do say something wrong, I want people to point that out or give me tips, especially if you have, more experience flying, commercial license or flight instructor or something like that, I really don't mind, you know, learning from other people. Alright, now here's where we need to start paying a little more attention to our route, because we can see some green starting to show up, and the green means 1 to 2,000 feet above the terrain. Black means more than 2,000 feet. If we start seeing yellow, we need to start steering clear. I can already see some of this up here is going to be a bit of an AO. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to level off at 7,000. Now we've got a lot of green up ahead and even a little bit of yellow. Should have planned this out a little bit better. Yes, we're going to stay right here. And I'll level it off. In fact, tell you what, I'm going to disengage the autopilot. We're going to climb. Going to get up to a safer altitude above that, just because some of that is low. We need to fall rich. Engine temperatures were hot, so we pulled back a little bit on that. And we're actually just gonna hand fly over toward this valley. Gonna follow the river in. Now I come up to 8,000 feet. We've got good clearance over everything. It is a little bumpy up here, though. Wow. Right, we can pull the power back and level off here. Yeah, and that can be kind of dangerous too. If the downdrafts are really strong, you can't climb out of them. It can literally pull you down into the ground, and that can obviously be lethal. It is bumpy. We're flying this entirely by hand right now. Kind of nice. We're trying to stay below 140 just because we are getting a fair bit of turbulence here. I mean, it's mostly light, but we've had a couple bigger jolts. look out there, you can kind of see the flatlands of the interior, just off in the distance. This is pretty out that way. Look at that. So Denali Airport is over here. And, oh, it's only -10 up here at this altitude. So there might be a temperature inversion on the ground at McKinley Park. Excuse me. And what that might mean is the air is probably very stable. It's very still. But then when we cross... And what that means, a temperature inversion means, as you go higher up, here's the airport. I see it right there. We've got a ways down. Like cut the power and just kind of pitch for the runway. It's right here. Healy's on the back side of that. We can actually go half flaps now. But yeah, what that means is, so from the ground, you go up, and the air normally gets colder. When there's a temperature inversion, it gets warmer. And then eventually you're going to reach a boundary to where the temperature will start getting colder as to what it normally does. And through there you might get a little bit of turbulence. Not necessarily, but generally below that it's... the cold air just sinks. And tends to be very calm. Getting a bit of a headwind here. We're actually pitched pretty well. It's just, I want to fine-tune that just a little bit here. We can pitch for 110 on our way down. We could even go full flaps. Might be a little early for that. Do want to watch these cylinder head temps. We don't want them below 240 for long. And with the engine just running at idle power, especially with how cold it is, we're getting that. So what we might do is just put just a little bit of power in to maintain those temperatures and go full flaps. And we're actually just a little bit above that speed that we should be at. Now we're good. Full flaps in. Just a couple final items. Landing lights on. These all stay. Turn the boost pump on. Mixture is full rich. And we are dropping pretty quick. Full flaps in and very little engine power. And yeah, it is actually getting colder as we go down. It was -8, now it's -11, and last reported weather we had was -16 at the airport. I think that's 3 degrees Fahrenheit. And we can see the runway, and there's a resort, I believe, kind of right about here. Healy's on the backside of that pass. We still have about 1,000 feet to descend. Actually, just go ahead and activate that now. This is way below our glide, or way above the glide path, but that just isn't really making sense to me. Is our altimeter off? Because the airport elevation was supposed to be 3,070 feet, I think it said. 500. Oh, something is up with that. If there's any altitude correction for temperature. Some airports have that where you have to have altitude correction. I don't know much about how that works. Unless I clicked on the wrong airport when I was looking at that. I mean, that's entirely a possibility. I have to go back in and look. Alright, power idle. This is turning out to be tricky. We're coming in fast. We do have full flaps down. Power's jumping all over the place thanks to this throttle. We're coming in hot. We may go around here. I think we're gonna manage it for now. Those trees. Right over the runway like that. Holy cow. I think we're gonna make it. Gonna have to hit the brakes hard though. Nice and ooh. Minus 184. That was a little rough. Alright, flaps up. Not bad. Not fantastic. We're coming in hot. And yeah, generally anything kind of more than like minus 100 to minus 150 is kind of a rough landing, but not like detrimental to the aircraft or anything like that. If you're to hit like minus 250 or 300, that would be a very rough landing that could actually cause damage to the gear. Keep trying to mouse over this thing, and this thing keeps just jumping. Either that or my thumb isn't stable. Taxi back over here. So yeah, this is saying we're at 1,700 feet. And it looks like there's a guide to park us, but he's still just... He's just standing on the tug. This pickup truck. Uh-oh. Now take a look at this. That's pretty right here. Wow. Look at that view. And then you get the sun right there and everything. Alright. Gonna go ahead and set the parking brake. Idle power. If the throttle doesn't stop frickin' jumping all over the place. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the engine down. Turn boost pump off. Landing light can come off. That should be good. Avionics off. Pitot heat. Go ahead and cut the mixture. Nav lights off. Alternator switches off, and we'll turn the battery lights off. Or battery switches. And it didn't end the flight. That's kind of odd. Okay. Well, this is quite pretty. I like that. Now look at the views from here. You can actually, yeah! You can kind of see like the resorts up here in the background. And this is kind of the gateway to Denali National Park. Of course it's named McKinley because the mountain was named Mount McKinley. For a long time before it was renamed to its original Alaska native name, Denali. In the Athabascan, I think it was. But yeah, so here we are on the ground at McKinley Park. Right, kind of at the gateway of Denali National Park. I hope you enjoyed the flight. I was going to do another one, kind of straight off from here, but what I think I'm going to do is end the video here. And I'll get another route put together, and we'll just go ahead and start with that with a whole new video. So stay tuned just a few minutes here, and we'll catch you. So yeah, as always, hope to see you on the next one, which will be very soon. And until then, or if you can't catch it, I always say take care, stay safe, and we'll see you. But yeah, for those of you that are able to hang around for the next one, we'll see you in just a few minutes.